they never asked me for a plea. But one thing I have to say is, anytime I've dated a non-black man, like I've never had this issue. Like they never. Say is, anytime I've dated a non-black man, like I've never had this issue. Like they never asked me for a place to live. They never asked me to pay for anything. So maybe we just need to expand our options. But I see it. Like I see it. It's bad. It's really bad. Girl, it's bad out here.
Okay, so as you can see, I don't know if you guys can read this, but let me read it to you. So someone wrote to her, "Black men, they always broke and always homeless, begging for money, like I refuse to date them anymore." So the issue we want to talk about today is, why is it okay for women to make these broad generalizations that all black men are homeless and broke? No, sis. The black men you have dated and attract are homeless and broke. And what do we always say? You are what you attract. Why is it, how come you blame all black men, instead of saying, what is so broken in me? What am I not seeing in myself that I am attracting homeless?
Now the question I want to ask is, when the so-called slave master had these people on his plantation, did the men have jobs? Was the men broke? Did he own his slave quarter? See, this is the major problem with these women. They don't understand the situation they're in. You see, now Claude Anderson, he let you know that these people haven't moved 1 inch in wealth since 1865. They still got the exact wealth they had in 1865. They released them off the plantation and put them in a worse slavery where everything is dictated by a store. He don't have to have a slave quarters for you anymore. He just got to give you a paycheck. And he don't have to even pay you every day. He can wait 2 weeks before he even pay you any kind of payment for your labor. So what world is these women living in? And this is a major problem. They are totally blind to what's going on in the world. Another issue is, at 21, yeah, he gonna be homeless and broke. At 25, yeah, he gonna be homeless and broke. It takes men in their late 30s and early 40s, it takes them that long to get established. If you out here dating these young men just left their mama house and they don't have that type of income. That they haven't built up that type of wealth. So you can't jump out there and think you're gonna find a bunch of young guys in their 20s that has money, unless they're playing professional sports. You see, or they done hit the lottery because their family don't have any wealth. The racial wealth gap is that the income of these families are zero for especially black men. They're at zero. So where's they gonna get this wealth to not be homeless and have a job in their 20s, or not be homeless and broke and have in their 20s? But it's much deeper than that. Let's get to the root of the problem. Let's get to the root of the problem. 16, cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Now, these men are a part of a society that was brought here. They're a part of a nation that was brought here in chains. And it says, curse be thy store. Now, when you look at verse 44, it says, he shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. These men are the tail in the society. That's why these other men have money. They're not broke, and they're not homeless. They are supposed to be the head. Okay. What else we got? Let's get right to it. It says, verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. See, the man is going to leave. Why is he going to leave? 55, so that he will not give any of them of his flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith your enemy shall distress you in all thy gates. So the enemy is going to distress these group of men, and they're not going to have anything. They're going to be broke and homeless. That's what you are looking at. But guess who is ignorant of these facts? The women. The women is ignorant of these facts. And they are broke and homeless too. That's another thing. You broke and homeless and want somebody else to be broke and homeless. You in captivity. You descended from these the slaves that was on the plantation living in the slave quarters too. 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards her husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, because she have nothing left in the siege. She can't find a man that's not homeless and that's not broke. So guess what she got to go? Or she's gonna be tempted to do. But these other nations not gonna want to date her, because she's gonna be homeless and broke, and they don't want to deal with that. Her family gonna be broke. They don't want to deal with her family. You see, so this is what these women don't understand. They looking at it so uh, ignorantly. That's the best way to say that. And they judging a book by its cover, and they not looking inside of the book. And they being destroyed because, let's get this in Hosea. I still got time. I want to keep this at 10 minutes. It say, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I also will reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of your God. I will also forget thy children. See, that law is what I was just reading out of the law. Deuteronomy means law. And the law tells you what's going to happen to a certain nation. And that certain nation is the so-called black man, which black is a color. Nobody is black. They are brown men, and they have forefathers in a long history before they got here. They are not a bunch of scattered men kidnapped from various of nations from so-called Africa. No, they came from one specific place, the slave coast, and then on that slave coast, you had the kingdom of Judah. You can look up the map, the 1737 Kingdom of Judah. You see, and when the people went in and took them over, the so-called Hamites, they was in prison. Once the so-called white man got there, the people was in the prison population, and they just started emptying out their prisons and selling them to the white man for cannon and gunpowder and weapons. And they took them to the door of no return, and they never returned back to that land. So these people, they don't know who they are, and that's why these single black women, they don't know how to gain wealth in this society. They are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves scattered around the globe. The kingdom of Israel is at hand. Shalom.